What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Motorhead YouTube channel. In today's episode, we're back to work on our E30 M3 conversion. As you know from the last episode, we got this quarter panel all fitted up nicely, but before we mold it, we actually wanted to get this fitted, and we're having some test fitment issues with the tail light, and it was these little tabs, you know, it was kind of junk, honestly, and I decided I did not want to do fiberglass in the rear because it's going to take away the structural rigidity if you cut everything out behind it. And if you overlap it, it just doesn't fit very well. So we hit up B&W of Chattanooga, and they really hooked it up for us. They got this taillight panel out for us, and that's the reason it's been a while since we made a video, because we were waiting for this, and it was direct shipment from Germany. And I did already take it out to make sure it's the right one. But as you can see, this is the complete panel. It replaces everything, and it is the pre-facelift, which is what we need. So this is going to be perfect because we can get this welded in, and once we get this welded in, we can go ahead and panel bond all these quarter panels on and get everything 100%, and then we can start on bodywork. So let's get right into it. All right, so to start off, we need to take this fiberglass panel off. It is just self-tap, and then we'll start drilling this piece out. And once we get it drilled out, we'll start test fitting the new panel. All right, so we got this piece cut out. The only thing left to do is actually cut it here, but we're out of cutting wheels, so we're gonna go pick one up real quick. All right, we got what we need. Atlas is always hooking it up, so let's go ahead and head back to the shop. All right, so we got our cutting wheels, and this body is a little different, so we are gonna have to modify it to make that panel fit, but it's no big deal. So we're gonna start by cutting all this off and getting it ready to put the new panel on. All right, so as you can see, we're doing pretty good here. This is all lining up. That'll just get welded up. I also brought it out a bit because we did overlap, so that's gonna accommodate for the overlapping, and it's gonna be exactly level. Taillight is fitting nicely. This will just be panel bonded, and then we'll fiberglass that inside. There is supposed to be a little lip here. That is how the M3s are, so everything is looking very great. As you can see right here, we'll just weld this seam up. It's lining up nicely, and this is where it's different. So I am just gonna cut the original piece back off, and we'll weld it into there. This is all lining up. What I wanna do before we do any welding though is go ahead and prep the next quarter panel. That way when we get both quarter panels on, we can get this piece exactly where we need it. Make sure all the fitment is nice, and then we can start welding it. And after that, we'll start panel bonding these quarter panels. All right, guys, so it has been a couple days since we worked on this because we were working on the S2000. But as you guys saw from previous work, we did get this taillight panel in its spot. Everything lined up very nicely. Now we're gonna go ahead and start prepping it to weld it in. So we need to clean everything up, make sure everything's nice and perfect, and then we can start welding it. So we're gonna take off these body panels, take out these taillights, and prep it for welding. All right, guys, so as you can see, these two are very different, and this is pretty raggedy. So we're gonna cut it right here and build a piece that goes behind here, connects from here to here, holds it together very nicely. It will be inset a little, that way the fiberglass can overlap it, and everything will be nice and flush. Okay, guys, since you know that this is a pre-facelift tail panel, we do have to modify it to fit this body of this car. So we did have to put a little filler piece here, as well as do these corners because they were looking pretty bad before. And we actually need space here to attach the quarter panel. So we're gonna go ahead and weld this up and start fitting the quarters. Okay, so as you can see, guys, Yuri did an amazing job here. Looks very nice. Everything's nice and smooth. Now he's gonna go ahead and replicate it to that side. And while he does that, I need to drill out these holes right here. That way we can weld this in. And then once we get this tail pan 100% welded in, we'll work on reinforcing these quarters. That way we can prep them to get the quarter panels on. All right, guys, so Yuri went ahead and finished up this corner. Now we're gonna go ahead and head over to the steel store and get some materials so we can start reinforcing these quarter panels. We're gonna take Big Red today. S2K just chilling, looking clean.
You all right? Yeah.
Vasily, what's up, bro?
Not much. How y'all doing?
Good.
How you doing?
Finna hit the steel store.
Your favorite place?
All right, so before we head out, Vasily needs some help. He's actually buying a bandsaw from Ben. So we're gonna load it up real quick and then we'll head to the steel store. That boy Vasily robbed us of our bandsaw. Wait, what is that for? For the mower?
Something like that. Cut up some exhaust pipes. With high
Yes, sir.
precision.
He's gonna make better use of it than us. He was just sitting around over here. All right, Vasily.
I'd appreciate it.
Peace out, boss.
I'll see you guys.
Can't wait to see what you do with that saw.
For sure.
Yeah. Looks like what we need.
He's saying that it'd be better to get a 20-foot stick. Oh, really?
$16. Yeah, let's get a 20-foot. All right, we got our materials. Let's go ahead and head back to the shop. What's up, Pops? What are you doing? You working?
Working.
All right, guys, so we're back from the steel store. Yuri's gonna go ahead and clean up the inside of the quarter panel, and I'm gonna clean up the angle that we bought, and so that way we can prep it to weld it onto the quarter. All right, so we got this piece welded in, super sturdy. Now we're gonna go ahead and focus on making this piece. It's basically just gonna be a piece of metal that comes out right there, like that, and we'll box it in. So we're gonna do some CAD, also known as cardboard aided design. I'm gonna cut a piece out of here and get the general shape, and then we'll go from there. All right, so after a little bit of fine tuning, this piece is fitting nice and tightly. And our game plan is pretty much we're gonna cut this right here, and it's gonna go straight to here, and then it's gonna get boxed into all of this, which is gonna give us rigidity because it's gonna connect to right here and hold all this together. This is where our roll cage is gonna weld in. You already went ahead and marked it right here also. So we're gonna cut it out with the plasma. This piece is literally gonna fit in there perfectly. And then this piece is gonna be super easy to make. And once we make all that, it's gonna actually hold the quarter panel to the wheel well like it did factory, except I think it's gonna be a little stronger, don't you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more strong.
Especially with this angle we have right here.
Yeah, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Pull on that. I mean, it is so much more style.
And once we get all this welded to this inner structure, the angle, that, and then this, I mean, it's gonna be.
And the way Yuri did it was actually really smart. He cut it and it spliced into all this so we can weld it from both sides, as you can see. So we're looking very good. Let's go ahead and cut this piece, and then we can clean it up and get it tacked in.
Well, first we're gonna make another one. That way we don't have to do all the fine tuning on the other side. All right, so right here,
that is if I cut the quarters identical on both sides.
Well, as long as we can get this inner structure part right,
yeah.
This part doesn't matter.
All right, so our piece fits beautifully. Mark, what do you have to say about it?
So I'm a wide body fanatic. My dream car is a Nissan 350Z Rocket Bunny wide body kit. And I just really think it's amazing to take a German car and wide body it. I also love E30s because of the drifting. As you saw in the last video, I had the E30 shirt. It's one of my favorite cars, E30. Just because of the drifting.
This one's not gonna be a drift car though.
It's not gonna be a drift car, but this revolutionary Honda engine is mind-blowing and amazing, and this turbo is huge. This is like a truck turbo right here.
It is. It's actually off of Cummins.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear this blow-off valve whistle and spin, and can't wait to get a ride in it.
Yes, sir. Be sure to check out Mark's channel, Mark Machine.
Mark Machine. Everybody check out my channel. I'll do product reviews. I got more videos coming. I have an Import Alliance video coming as well. So go ahead and check it out.
All right. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and clean this piece up. and get it prepped. That way we can weld it in. And once we get it welded in, we'll go ahead and work on this back plate. And then after that's finished up, we got to do the exact same thing on that side. This side is going to be much easier than this side because all we have to do is really make one sheet that goes here, and it's just going to connect to this. So we're going to get this side done, and then we'll go into that. All right, guys, as you can see, the piece is nice, fits very nicely. It's ready to weld in now. And we'll go ahead and start on that piece. Okay, so as you can see, Yuri went ahead and welded this in, cleaned it up. It looks very nice. And then while he was doing that, I went ahead and made this piece. And it goes in just like that, as you can see. Fits up very nicely. We're gonna weld this in also. And then it's gonna make all of this very rigid and strong, so we keep that structural rigidity that we cut out. So it's coming along nicely. Now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and start putting this piece, or at least prepping all the areas to get it welded in. All right, guys, next day here at the shop, and we're gonna basically replicate this onto this side, but we did run out of materials such as cutting wheels. We also wanna get some whiz wheel tips and some belt sanders tips. That way we can grind everything up, make it all smooth, because we wanna glue in this quarter panel today. So let's go hit a couple stores and get what we need. We got a flood over here.
Actually, I don't know though, because they also got, I like the big collar.
All right, we got what we needed from Atlas Bolt Co. They're always hooking it up. Now we're gonna head to CarQuest because we need to get some whiz wheel tips, belt sanders, and we're also probably gonna buy some panel bond to mount the quarter.
All right, so we've got our piece bent. We went ahead and bent this piece right here, so that's going to save us a lot of time on not having to weld that. So we're going to cut it out right here to where this piece overlaps this inner fender well, or inner wheel well right here, and we will spot weld this to that and then weld this up. So
Yes, sir.
like that. Yeah, buddy. That's why I always cut a little. Down here,
Dude, that fits beautifully.
we're gonna have to cut some of this off though, because it's gonna have to go in from the
Yeah,
back.
you're right.
So it's gonna be about right there, and we'll go to this edge right. Yeah, we'll just feather. We'll just go nice, clean.
Yeah, and then I would recommend kind of feathering it into there.
Yeah, we'll.
Okay, so this piece is pretty much like the other side. except we did go ahead and save some time by making this bend right here. So we need to cut it out, get it all cleaned up, trimmed up, that way it fits in there nicely. And we can just spot weld it here and we'll be good to go. All right, so Yuri finished up this piece. I went ahead and cleaned this and drilled out spot welds. We got this piece all cleaned up, everything looks nice. So now we're gonna go ahead and weld it in. All right, so we completed this quarter panel. Everything is done. It turned out amazing. This side turned out exactly like this side. Yuri did an amazing job. I think, honestly, this is stronger than the original quarter panel. We did actually use a little bit thicker steel. So now we need to go to Ace Hardware. We're gonna get some foam for all of this, and then we're gonna get some bolts because we wanna bolt the fender liner on. We're gonna do a layer of panel bond, and then we're gonna do bolts, and it's gonna hold very tightly. So we're gonna go and get that stuff, and once we get back, we'll get this wheel well in its spot and get it mounted for good. All right, so we got our bolts. These are what we went with here, and we went ahead and made sure this was in its correct spot. Now we need to take it off, edge the bare metal, and panel bond it on. All right, guys, we got this wheel well in there nice and tight, super strong. It's not going anywhere. Everything looks amazing. Now we're gonna go ahead and foam it all up, and then once the foam dries, we can shape it out and put the quarter panel on. All right, guys, the foam is all on there. Unfortunately, guys, it's looking like it's not gonna dry today, so we can't get this quarter panel on, but we want it to cure overnight anyways because I'm gonna get another can and we're gonna throw it in here. That way this is fully filled up. Yuri actually came up with a really good idea to fill it up to where it all comes out further than the quarter, and then we'll cut it to the shape of the quarter. That way it's very flush, because I was worried about, like, when I put this quarter panel on, you know, someone might come over here and like lean on it or something and possibly break the fiberglass. But with this, it's actually gonna be really strong, really rigid. And with all these mods that we did, where we did the new structure inside, it's gonna make everything super strong. I know a lot of people are concerned about cutting all of this out, and that's actually a really big concern with E30 M3 conversions. I was actually dreading this. Luckily, Yuri's skills came in clutch and everything looks amazing, turned out amazing, and it's super strong. So I'm really happy. Next episode, we'll get this quarter panel mounted, and we won't really go too in-depth on the next episode on the other side because you guys seen how we did it. That way things will go a little bit quicker and we can get both of the quarter panels mounted. Then we can get all the body work done. I can't wait for that so we can get it into primer because I'm already excited, you know, thinking of colors and stuff. We want to bedline the underside, the interior, make it all super nice. I can't wait. Stay tuned for all that, guys. And if you want the inside scoop, Be sure to follow us on Instagram at motorhead.co. I actually posted the whole video going through how we did this on Instagram, so you can get the inside scoop before the video drops. So if you want, go ahead and give us a follow there. I'll leave the link down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what you think. Peace.